Be ready to change yourself. Be ready to challenge your better self. Know that your mind can develop a passionate winning spirit, but not by yourself. We guarantee your family in love with your life, and you're gonna love all the grind. Lewis and Bars together, we develop your mindset with vitamin C for your mind. Don't you settle with what you know. There's much to learn, there's much to earn. Tell yourself I'm ready to fight, ready to be heard. Out of success and awakening rise. There's so many words that turn into prices. Be ready to change for the best. Step up and be great. Don't be like the rest. Develop your mindset.
Hello everybody, we are back Saturday again, one more time. Develop Your Mindset podcast. This is number 67. We've got some good lineup here of questions. And we're gonna start, and this is it. My name is Varouj, and this is Luis. Luis is busy with his tablet.
That is me, yes.
Yes, you. So Luis has been very impatient. He wants to start. And here we are, we are starting. Today we're going to talk about new blood on the premises. That means something new happened. That's what it means. And we're going to be talking about the experience, how it is, what we're going through, and I'm sure all of us, we go through one way or another in our professionals or relationship lives and all kinds of lives. And these are new stuff we go through, and this is new this week, and we're going to talk about all this. And yeah, you can do the opening, and we start.
Yeah, well, hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode. As you said, we're going to be talking about new blood. So I'm excited, to talk about the new blood. So without further ado, we can go ahead and get started.
Awesome. So let's reflect back to the week, what we went through. You must be lucky, of course, right? We have to be lucky. If you're not lucky, you're screwed. So to find new blood that meets your expectations and your standards, I guess. We forgot to put that word there. But listen guys, seriously, we all want to start something new, but we want to start something solid and beautiful. Nothing like you want to look back and be like, what the hell was that? Waste my time doing what I did. But it's always good to have a good fit in the team or your friends, as we know, we have experiences like you meet someone, you introduce your friends, and then suddenly all your friends love this person, and everything starts going along well, and everything's amazing. And that's what we're always looking for here, in the company, to have someone new and have that kind of fit. And I'm calling that you're gonna be a little bit lucky. Sometimes you wish, you dream, you hope, and it doesn't fit. And what are you gonna do, right? You just start over again. So we always welcome this kind of experiences, and I don't know how it works, but you're gonna go for it, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna find out after you do it if it's gonna work out or not. So so far so good. So it's gonna be amazing experience.
Yeah, so we're doing the new blood, right?
New blood in the first,
You must be lucky, so...
you can say something.
Yeah, so... so we do have a new team member in the team. And that's awesome, that's amazing. And as far as being lucky to find, like you said, it's always a good thing, when you're able to have a new, person come into, whether that's a team, that's a company, or that's... relationships or anything along those lines where there's teamwork involved. It's always good to have a new member, come in and have that team member get along with everybody else, and that just makes the whole transition very smooth. And of course, when everybody is in sync and everybody gets along, for the most part, that creates a very friendly, very optimistic and motivating environment that really, everybody just feels very comfortable. And so that's a very good place to be in, especially, if it's a company we're talking about, because it really, it helps everybody in the team feel comfortable and feel like, okay, we have more help now. We have more. There's more that we can do. We can push ourselves even farther now, and we can do more. And so there's room for improvement. There's room for learning new things, and there's a lot of positives to having somebody new, and also having fit right in, really nicely. And so. Especially when they meet your expectations, and even when they exceed those expectations, that's even better. And so it's always great. But yes, to some degree there is some sort of luck involved, and I think there's luck involved in pretty much any sort of journey. I mean, it's not like it's the determining factor. It's not like luck is everything, but luck is always a little factor that it's like it's something that's pretty much involved in any journey. So definitely, when you do find someone like that, make sure you appreciate that, you express some gratitude to have that individual there, and of course move forward and be appreciative.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I understand that don't believe in luck. They believe in different things. But for me, it's always being calculated, calculated luck, calculated whatever, and so you do your best, and when it starts, when it happens, then you're gonna find out more about your calculation, right? So
yeah.
So the next one is new addition is always amazing. I mean, like, amazing meaning. It's always like when you finish something, you're gonna know if it's amazing or not. But then again, when before you hire someone, a lot of thoughts goes into it, a lot of planning goes into it too.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it's like the first step of starting the amazing, but also something amazing happened because of all this planning and all this thinking about. So we have to kind of recognize that right, and to start a relationship is always exciting. Yes, relationships is always exciting. It's always amazing. So you plan, you wish, you dream, you ask for it, and then it comes. And then when it comes, you go for it, you try, and you start learning, experiencing new things, and those are gonna be either amazing or the opposite of amazing. So sometimes it can turn into nightmarish. So, but we don't want that. So if we all have that kind of stories, and so we don't want that. We always want to do better and better. Each time you go through relationships, through life, you start learning more and more, and to do a little bit more, a little bit better decisions. And I always say, like, if I feel it in my gut that this is not going to work, I refuse to continue. The reason is because I've seen a lot and I've experienced a lot, and that's gonna it's a factor. It kind of like it turns it off, and I don't want to continue. But when it's amazing, it's you gotta take it and just like freaking do awesome things with it. So this is what this whole question is about.
Yeah, for sure. So a new addition is always amazing, of course. I think whether that's a team member, or whether that's anything in your life, right? That's coming into your life and adding to it, whether that's work or something that you're about to start, and that could also apply for a relationship as well. And so it's always exciting because that usually there's an opportunity there to learn something about yourself and learn something about the other individual, and the other individual could bring things to the table that perhaps you never thought you could even have access to at some point. So And the beautiful thing about, when it comes to people is that every single person is very unique, and they can bring things to your life, and to, if it's a company, to the company that's very unique to them. And so they bring in not only their expertise and stuff, but also their attitude, and the way they communicate with people, the way they carry themselves, and a lot of things along those lines. And so you're able to learn things like those from that individual, and of course from yourself as well. When you see that individual expressing themselves in such a way that's very nice, you can just appreciate that, and see how you can be very grateful towards that person, and also towards yourself, and perhaps learn something that can activate something inside of you, and maybe all of a sudden, who knows, you become a little bit more humble, more grateful, more happier, more motivated, more positive, more enthusiastic. Maybe you become smarter because of the other person. And so it's always exciting, it's always great to have to start a new relationship, like I said, whether that's with a teammate, or anything, a friendship, anything along those lines. It's always exciting. So
Yeah, so one thing I realized, like what you're saying, like I realized that the thing with when you bring someone in the team, somebody fresh, someone new, the thing is, like, you're always trying to cover that weak point, that part of the system where it needs update. And when you find that person, when that person is even better than what you're hoping or wishing, is always amazing. So like early on, I was using the word amazing. That's where it is. Like we're always trying to cover the weak points and bring the team even stronger as we go along, growing. And so the next one is first time realize to start new, after try by yourself how to go first for it. So this is the thing, this is the reason I put this here. So see, I'm like, when it comes to hiring, when it comes to expanding, I'm not afraid of doing it, taking chances, going for it, and doing the thing where it's going to make the team stronger, building better team, always stronger team. So I realized that a lot of my friends, when we first started doing by ourselves, becoming entrepreneurs and doing business, and they're like, we all started, and then how that goes. When you first start, you start doing the work to make money, to like write your invoices, the office work, to call your customers, to get job and go after new customer. What else? Like doing the banking, paying your bills and rent, and start developing new designs, ideas, so you can bring in some more work, and on and on and on. This is like insane amount of stuff you have to do. That's why end of the month you're broke. You don't have enough money to pay everything, because you by yourself, which one are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna make money, or are you gonna run your show? And how good of you gonna run your show? Like, it's even you are the best to run that show, still you're competing with next door person, where this guy is building team and building a company, and he or she adding this new member in their company, they're becoming stronger. You are left behind, like in the dust, like you don't even exist anymore if you don't move your ass. So this is what this is about. You start by yourself, but you have to develop a team, and there's different kinds of team, developing different kind of the function of the team. So depending how you look at it, some people I know, they look at the team like it's gonna make a lot of money for me. Some people they look at the team, the opposite of that is like the team's gonna make a lot of money, and then the left behind is gonna be so much more, because like the team is doing so well. There's all these kinds of strategies, different kind of going about, and that's on you to it's on your personality and on your dream and wish how to set this thing up, and at one point it's gonna go away from your control. There's you cannot control. The team becomes its own entity. So I guess when you put the, how do you say, like when you put the base solid and like very transparent, and that's gonna help to for everybody to understand what they're doing, what their place is, what their contribution is going to be for the team. So basically, you can have your own small shop doing everything by yourself, but also that's not the next level, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So doing it by yourself as opposed to having a team. I think
Very soon you're gonna face this.
I don't think soon, but
I think so.
no, I don't think so.
We'll see.
I think it really depends on who's in charge, and because I think everybody's really capable of doing what they can do on their own, until they realize that they, of course, eventually, you need the team, but it really depends on like how much you want to expand, and how you want to do it, as opposed to just getting the team just for the sake of just getting the team. So in my opinion, like if you are going to get a team, it's got to be like with a strategy, and you're going to have a really strong reason to do that, to get members. It's not just about like just getting the team just because you heard somewhere that the team is going to help you increase this and that. It's not just about that, because you also have to manage the team. You have to pick out the members of the team. You have to there's expenses going into the team. There's a lot of things that are going to go into the team, so you got to make sure that team is actually that's really what you need at that point. Because if you don't, then continue doing what you're doing on your own if you're not exactly sure like where you're going. So that's why it's so important to have a purpose and know exactly where you're going. That way because timing is also a big factor when you're going after success. You got to have proper timing, exactly when to execute certain things within your journey. Because you execute way too early, and you might be doing something right, but if it's in the wrong timing, you're doing it too early, then it just it's not going to work as effectively. Or maybe you do it too late, then it's too late already. Like you pretty much missed your window, and it's pretty much you're gonna have to try a whole different strategy now. So I think
something to say about that, but continue.
So definitely for now I'm on my own, like and pretty much right now it's serving its purpose, because right now I'm just I'm learning right now. I'm in the learning process. I'm in the gaining experience process. So at this point, it's like it fits more right now as far as the timing goes. It fits more for me to just focus and go all in. But once I do feel like, okay, I've pretty much learned this, I know exactly what I'm doing, I already feel like a professional of what I'm doing, then at that point, it's already time for me to start thinking about having a team, because I can't just continue on, like after I've gotten good enough to a certain point, eventually, I can't just, continue doing everything on my own. And so at that point, yes, of course, consider having a team. But as of this point, I guess it's just part of the strategy, and timing.
Yeah, for sure. The last part is kind of like you said it. The thing is, you're gonna put your effort into something that you're doing without even I don't know what to say, like not expectations, but like without even like not getting anything back, and that's fine, because you're trying to build. Building is not an easy thing. It's a very difficult on your soul and your mind and your just like your work, your body. Also, if you're putting your hours into it, you get tired, you get exhausted, and like your mind is telling you like stop. You need to stop, take a break, and it's crazy like how you kind of ignore your mind and then just keep on doing more and more, and like end of the day, you're when you're doing more than your competition, doing the same thing like what you're doing, obviously you're going to be ahead of that competition. So then there's going to be a time where you need to bring in a team, and like other like especially covering your weak points, things that you're not fond of, you don't like doing it, and that's where you're going to start advancing much faster and quicker at that point.
Yeah.
So, but first thing first, you have to start bringing in some money, raise money, sell, and all that is important to be able. Next is each time is difficult. Each time is different. Every time is different. Okay. Talk medium. I'm willing to work with someone new. Okay, so each time is different because if like when you have a company and have an existing team and you've been doing it for a while, you're going to realize that a lot of people are coming and going. A lot of people are staying. Some people are you don't like, some people don't like you, and then that's vice versa. It works that way. So to find that fit, that both person are fond of each other, and then they understand the end game, and then everyone's just working towards the target, the goal. That's not always the case, but when it's the case, it's gonna be like really good experience. We need to work with someone new. Yeah, and everybody else, especially when you're putting someone to a position where it's a weak point. As a leader, you're looking and seeing the weak point, and then you put someone there. That other person has to be willing to work with that person, and it's your job as a coordinator to be able to mediate between those two and find the middle ground and get those two start working in syncly. And it's not that easy, but it's possible, very possible. If you are you have good skills, you can make things go much smoother, easier. The experience is going to be easier. If you don't, I recommend you read a few books, a few courses that brings your awareness up, and you learn how to do this. If there is a will, there is a way, and you have to teach yourself how to do this. We're not born with knowledge. We attain knowledge in time, and whatever you go after, that's what you're gonna learn. Yep, I hope that was good. So
I'm still having trouble understanding the question here. I mean,
what can I help you?
So each time is different. It's different, like working with someone new, or like.
Think of it this way, like. Think of it. Each time is different. How can I put this? Friendship, maybe, like
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Each time you have a new friend, like it's different. Like each time you have a new girlfriend, it's different. Like each time it fits, it doesn't fit. You understand? Like different methodologies, different mindsets. From outside, it looks all cool and nice and beautiful. You get into it, you're like, what did I got into this? Like, why am I doing this? And then maybe that's gonna help you to.
So pretty much like every relationship is a little bit different, or
every relationship is a little bit different, especially when you have a like best friend, and then this other friend comes into this best friend starts getting jealous of this friend, and talking like, this guy is not so good, but in your mind this guy is good, man, what are you talking about? Like, and then there's all this thing starts, like.
Yeah, that's something that happens. Yeah.
And imagine that it's happening in workspace.
Oh.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, if it's happening on a workplace, I mean that's a big issue. I mean, if they're not getting along, for sure, because I mean it's.
Do we fire them?
If you invest so much effort, time into it, like, you don't want to fire anyone. You just like want it to work. So there's like a little bit of engineering.
Okay, Marshmallow, I still get along with you, bro.
I mean, I don't think when it comes to like relationships and just like something along those lines. I mean, I think it, like I said in the previous podcast, you know, there's chemistry as far as like
That's
you know
a good word.
you know people getting
Yeah.
people getting along, and I don't think that should be something that should be forced. So if they're just not getting along, I mean, sure, you can do a couple of things, you know, execute a few techniques here and there, you know, such as, you know, having those people really communicate as, you know, exactly how they're feeling about each other, and perhaps, you know, at some point, you know, things can work out, but that's, you know, my opinion, that's something that you shouldn't really force. Like if two people are just not getting along, then they're just not getting along, and you're gonna have to do something, you know,
Yes, eventually.
whether you separate those individuals, and if you really want to keep them, you know, if they really have like the necessary skills and their and whatever their section is, you know, maybe you can separate them in a way where they don't have to interact with each other,
True.
or you know, maybe you can make it work out some way somehow. But you know, if they're just never force anybody to work with somebody else, in my opinion, that's just something that there's always other people. You can always go and get somebody else if you really need them to connect and, you know, talk to each other and everything, and it's just not working, then you're gonna have to make a decision there and let, you know, one of them go at that point, and like, because you just can't have that happening, because that eventually will affect the workflow, and
Yeah.
and eventually, you know, that's going to affect the business. And I believe you should have things set in your company, such as the company culture. So you got to know exactly like what kind of culture and what the expectation should be from the individuals that work in your company. That way, you know, that makes it you know, you can really narrow down exactly who you want, who would be the perfect fit for your company as far as company culture. You can have a set of rules and standards that, you know, each team member must follow in order for you to, you know, have that. And on top of that, I believe the whoever's in charge of hiring should be incredible when it comes to people skills, and really be able to, you know, be able to read people very fast. You know, you have to know exactly what this person is all about, you know, immediately. And you have to be able to connect with this person as well, not only read them but also understand them and be able to get to their core, because, you know, once you get that person comfortable, that person, when they're comfortable, they'll tell you everything. So as a person hiring, you know, the next teammate, the next team player, you gotta have those people skills, and you gotta be able to read that individual's pretty quickly, and also you got to be able to get that person comfortable enough, you know, so that they open up and they actually let you know like exactly like how they're feeling about, you know, certain things. Because if you don't get them comfortable enough with you, they won't tell you exactly what's wrong. They'll just, you know, tell you here or there, you know, they'll give you some sort of excuse, this and that, I don't like this, I don't like that, but the reality is that there's something else underneath. And so you have to be able to know those things. And once you get all those things in place, I believe you'll be able to choose team members much more, you know, appropriately, because you'll know exactly what you're looking for. And this can apply to anything else too, you know, any sort of relationship, you know exactly what you're looking for, you know your expectations, your standards. And if they don't fit them, then, you know, there's people who are nice, they're very nice, but, you know, if they're just not fitting those standards, they're not fitting the criteria, you gotta let them go, you know. It's fine, you know, it just happens. You gotta be a little tough, you know, and a little strong, and just be like, go.
Everything you said is true, but experience helps, you know, especially when you refuse to learn to listen about for stories. Why they don't want to do it, how they don't know how to do it, and why, you know, and that's not gonna help the agenda. And yeah, you have to be able to pick those, which one is a story, which one is a solution based, and you know, you should refuse the stories. And if it's a solution based, then find the solution and start putting the hours and time and find out how to do it. So that's pretty much, you know, it lies down to that. in that line. I guess we can move on from there, right?
Yeah.
Put yourself under stress. Without stress, there's no gains to bring in new blood, and you are not going to advance as a company agendas. This is the thing, like each time, every time when you're adding something to the company, whether it's a new product or it's a new member or whatever, you're putting yourself under stress of trying to figure out what this is, how it's going to work, or trying to pay for it, or trying to make things work as well as it should. It's a stress. You're gonna put yourself under stress, and if you're not willing to go through the stress, you're not gonna thrive. You're not gonna expand. It's not gonna happen. So you must put yourself under stress. We've said this before. The person that created Toyota I forgot his name, but he has a book, I think, and he said something profound, which he said controlled stress, which is obviously you have to put yourself in under stress, but it has to be controlled environment. You can't be freaking out and losing your mind, and that's not gonna work. Like, he's stupid. Like, it's like, what are you gonna do under stress? There's no car, no building, nothing has been built, with someone being upset and really stressed. But there is a good stress, like you put expectation. Sometimes you don't know how to get there, and you just push and pull, and you learn meanwhile, and then you achieve the goal. And that's that when you look back, you're gonna see how much stress you went through to finish something. But that's what it takes. That's why not everybody's willing to do it. You have to pay the price. What is the price? Maybe the stress is the price, and you always have to be willing to pay the price. And when you do, you're gonna achieve whatever you put in your mind into doing it. So otherwise, the company's agenda is not gonna be coming into fruition. So that's what I put myself into. Each time I make a move, I'm under stress, and until I get rid of that stress, it becomes a little bit easy. Then I realize, oh shit, I can do it again, and I do it again, and that's pretty much that's where this is going.
So put yourself under stress. Yeah, of course. I mean, stress is definitely puts you in a position where it pretty much forces you to take some sort of action, and at that point you pretty much have a choice, and you have an opportunity whether you can either let it control you and let it pretty much stop you from doing whatever it is that the next move should be, or it can push you to take that next move. So pretty much you can treat stress as a tool that can help you improve or grow or advance in some sort of way, and it's definitely extremely useful. But you have to learn how to use it. I mean, like you said, it's got to be controlled. It's got to have some sort of structure, and it's got to have some sort of place within your journey. So make sure that when you're putting yourself under that stress, that it's for a good cause, for a good reason that you're doing that, whether that's for a learning experience or that's for growth experiences, or whatever the purpose is. Just like anything else that you do in life, stress itself should have a purpose, and you should always do it with intention. When you create stress with intention, that signifies and tells your mind that, okay, this stress has a purpose. And so it's more action oriented as opposed to just letting the stress come to you and pretty much allowing it to pretty much dominate you and control you and pretty much take you in the wrong direction and not the direction that you want to go to. So you have to be very aware of what the stress is doing.
Yeah.
And so
Yes, that was a good point. How to choose the newest? Yeah, choosing is not a easy task. It's a learning curve. You choose. Just be careful, don't choose moron, because I had one and I tried to motivate him, and he turned out to be motivated moron. I had to learn that, so that's something I always talk and say, because I don't want anyone to go through that, because that was not easy. It was difficult. That was nonsense stress. The new edition is always amazing. New edition is always incredible. Whether it's a product, it's a member, it's I don't know. Maybe you like to buy new clothing, new shoes. I love buying shoes, so always new shoes is always amazing. New edition, the new beginning, how to have the new starts. The new beginning is always amazing, because this is the thing, like, it refreshes my mind too, it refreshes the whole company itself, and everyone's dynamic will shift, it changes, everyone's just become a little bit excited, like you just bought a new bicycle when you were a little kid, you just like, dynamic has changed, now you have wheels, you can go places, like you can go play, so it's always good, it's always amazing to have a new start, and I always look forward to it. I always try to recreate when the time goes by and we're not starting anything new. It's like, what can I do, what can we do to have something start, and maybe get the team and go someplace, have a lunch together, start something new. So yeah, we have to always look for to recreate that kind of environment. So it's always good. I think that's pretty much here. Yeah, I know you have something else to say. So you always have.
Yeah, so how to choose the newest, the new edition, the new beginning. How to choose, I think that really comes with time, and of course experience, learning how to choose the best things, for your life. And I think it really comes down to, of course, you knowing yourself and really understanding what you want out of life, and that's really where you go, and you choose everything, like as far as like what are the new things that you are gonna find, fulfilling, fun, exciting, and everything along those lines. So it really comes down to you knowing yourself. And so yeah, I mean, like, you heard from him, for him is new shoes, for me.
Oh man, everyone loves something.
I mean, for me it's a couple things actually,
New software.
Sometimes it's actually no software. I did that in the past. Actually, that was one of the things I really loved. I killed a bunch of computers. Just installing new software left and right. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't. But now I understand. What makes good software and what makes bad software. So, that's where it helped there. Right now, I'm like into like
just that alone. It's like people have to understand that. Experience, like trying.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, how are you gonna get the experience?
Exactly.
That's what I want people to.
Yeah, and with coffee, I did pretty much the same thing when I was working over there. I tried a lot of things. Now I'm even trying even newer things. With coffee. I like I've gotten rid of the cups now. Now I'm pouring coffee and other things. And trying new experiments, different mixes and everything. And so, still keeping the coffee fresh, with video, and
yep.
This podcast, there's a new additions coming to that as well.
Coffee has a lot in your a lot of what is the word, like, in your life, like it has a lot of
influence.
Yeah,
so you can see, man, right here, man. Even in jewelry, man. Yeah, everything.
We're gonna be launching the coffee line very, very soon.
So it's everywhere. But like yeah, new. I mean, right now, like yeah, man, everything new, you know. But of course, you know, it's all in congruence to who I am and you know what I want in the future. So it's all you know purpose driven. You know, I know exactly like where I'm going, and so you know I'm choosing to have new experiences in those things because you know I can't just be having new like in everything, pretty much everything. That's just there's just no way. There's not enough time for me to go and try something new from all the departments that there is in this world, you know, because that would just be crazy, you know. So I'm selecting, you know, the few that I have an actual passion for, and then going really hard on those, you know. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very, very true. That was really good points, man. There was like two important points. You should cut them and put them on Instagram. Really good. When do you start planning to start new things, and how do you know it's the right one? So when do you start planning the new things is like this is the thing, like if you guys are not familiar with like law of attraction, law of action, everything has its own law, and you have to be willing to listen and learn the law of how things work. And when you do, you're gonna start realizing that planning has a law too. So when do you start planning? You start planning. It starts with your mind. You know, in your mind, everything you solidify and you make it like it's gonna work, and it's gonna be so like different scenarios. So how it's gonna work, pretty clear in your mind, and then you start taking action. Without action, nothing's coming, nothing's going, nothing's gonna happen. First starts in your mind, then you take action, you start doing it, and then you start learning which one is the right one, what is the wrong one. And then one other thing can help is by bringing yourself a little bit low and asking other people opinion, and then willing to listen to them, and then trying to understand other point of views, what other people are seeing, you know. So many times a person comes and I ask, and they, you know, I have advisors. I consider them as advisors. They're not. There are people that they're running businesses. For me, their opinions are welcome and very important, and I pay attention to what they say. And I just pull the phone and I call them and I tell them, ask them about what I'm doing, what I'm going through. What would you do if it was you? And then I listen. And I don't say much, because if I say something, it's going to sound like I'm giving excuses, or I'm giving a story why this is supposed to be this way. At that moment, it doesn't matter. You just listen, you know, and then you take it, and then you analyze it in your mind. And then sometimes, you know, I'll be like, you know what, when such and such said it this way, and he said it that's most likely it's going to be happening this way, that way, and I'll probably take that action, you know. And so what I'm trying to say is like, be very open-minded, listen, and don't criticize, don't tell stories, don't give excuses, and take action. And then you're going to know which one is the right one, you know. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It's okay, you know, like it's better to put the right time into the right place than putting your time into like confusion, not understanding, and like aggression and depression and recession and all these emotions. Put the time in the right place, and then figure out which one is the right one.
Yeah, so when do you start planning to start new things, and how do you know it's the right one? So I think it really comes down to you know, when you're gonna start planning. You can start planning now, like, you know, what new things you want to start. And of course, you know, how do you know it's the right one? Well, I think it really comes down to you knowing yourself. But in order to really know yourself, you have to you know, start a bunch of things. And you know, some of those things, you know, may not be congruent to who you are. And so, you know, if they're not, then just don't continue doing them. But then you'll find a few of those that you start them, and then you start to feel like, okay, you know, I'm really liking this. This is something that, you know, I love. I'm engaging with it. I want to try it a few more times, and pretty much, you know, that's really how you. And I mean, pretty much, you know, you pursue different things, you know, all the way. And then after that, you pretty much see, you know, which one's the right one, which one's the one that I want to stick with for a long period of time. And, you know, you just go with that, and, you know, you go all in, you commit, and yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's really how it goes. And of course, you know, when you're starting new things, it's never, sometimes it is, depending on the level of entry, you know, some things are harder to start than others. You know, some are more easier, and so, you know, you have to make that decision yourself. But it's always fun and exciting. But you know, there's always my book. You know, you can always check that out.
Yes.
If you're having trouble, you know, starting. There's that book, and pretty much, you know, of the 13 reasons, you know, why you haven't started it and how to overcome them. And that book, I pretty much, I mean, everything that's in that book, I use myself on a day-to-day basis. You know, when I'm about to start something and I feel like I can't, you know, I go back to it. I'm like, okay, you know, which one is it? And depending on what reason it is, you know, that kind of helps me. Okay, you know, this is what I have to do. This is the action I have to take in order to start in this specific area. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Usually when we write something, we write for ourselves. Hopefully other people are going to find it
Yeah.
as useful. I think I'm going to move on from how do you know and feel it is the right one. I mean, we kind of said that.
Yeah.
Right? So let's move on. Maybe we can finish it a little bit earlier today. Change is amazing and powerful. Can't wait to be experiencing power. So power is amazing. Power is good, and it will make you feel amazing, good, and you are gonna feel charged, and you're gonna go and put another 5 hours before you have to stop and eat and drink something maybe. So, and change is amazing and powerful. Is, you know, like when you do something new. You go someplace new, you go to vacation, you buy a car, you do whatever, and, you know, you're gonna feel so good, amazing, and can't wait to be experiencing power. You know, like the thing is, like I said, you know, everything starts in mind, and then you just take action, and then I personally became to a place where I can't wait to experience the new thing. The new, like I feel so good, so like amazing, like I'm working towards starting the next experience. So you know, and that experience is gonna teach me so much, and sometimes that experience is very, very familiar to me because I've done it so many times, and I go through those experiences so easy, and you know, like I just flow through it, you know, and without any corks and wrinkles, and yeah, and it's so amazing. You when you start doing, taking a lot of action, like lot of unknowns, and you're gonna realize that, you know, you're learning from them, and the next one is gonna get a little bit easier. And the number 100 is gonna be like you're doing with your subconscious. You're not even thinking anymore. You just like you're so familiar, and a lot of people from outside that watch you be like, "Wow, you know, like how is he doing? It's not, you know, how he does it. How he does it is like 100 times later he's doing that good. Not because, you know, he's special, or he knew this from birth. There's no such thing. So you just do a lot of it, you know, and then that becomes very powerful.
Yeah. So change is amazing and powerful, and can't wait to be experiencing power. So yeah, I mean, as far as change goes, yeah, I mean, change is always amazing, and especially when that change is self you chose that, intentionally. You chose to, create that change in your life because, sometimes, yes, some change is really out of your control when, the circumstances just sort of push you and force you into changing, whatever something about your life. So then there's that. And so, the best option you could really have right now is to really embrace change and embrace change overall because, try to create change intentionally. That way you actually you sort of fall in love with the idea of change. And that way when it does happen, like out of the ordinary, you pretty much like the circumstances force you to create that change. You're not so, you don't get stuck. You don't get, let's just say you don't get stifled, you don't stagnate when the circumstances sort of change on you and you're forced to change because you're already ready for that change. You're in love with that change, and so you're always ready to make that shift and pivot in the right direction whenever the occasion calls for it. So definitely change is really amazing and powerful, but you have to make it as such. Change in of itself, it's not it in of itself, it's not, I wouldn't say it's something that can be, it has the potential to be amazing and powerful, but I think that's really up to you and your perception of it. And so, because, change is happening all around, and so some people don't see change as something that's amazing and powerful. They see it as something that's, horrific and, something that should be avoided because, these people are in a comfort zone, they're comfortable, and so, they would rather just be comfortable as opposed to, having to change something about their lives and having to go in a different direction and do something different. So, you really have to make that the new perception, the new reality of making change something amazing and powerful, and being able to experience that power, ultimately at the end.
All right, so we are almost done with our questions. And we always finish with the Develop Your Mindset because the podcast is Develop Your Mindset podcast. And we are going to finish it with that. So this is the last question because Develop Your Mindset is the podcast. And this is where we kind of finish. Today is about develop your mindset to let go. This is very, very important. If you don't let go of your old belief system where it's not taking you anywhere, just you're coinciding, and that's not going to help. You have to let go of that kind of mindset to be able to advance yourself from where you are. And if that's what you want, that's what you need, that's what you're striving for, that's your belief. And if it's something is not working, you have to let go of the system that you are on and start developing your mindset towards taking action, starting something amazing. And if you start doing it, trust me, believe me, number 100, it's gonna be like you are the professional. People are gonna look at you like you're amazing. And the reason people gonna look at you, you're amazing, because you are willing to pay the price of failing, not winning, and going under stress. And not everyone's willing to do that. If you are, then you're gonna come to a place where you're gonna be winning, and you're gonna be winning so much that other people are gonna be asking themselves, how come we're not winning? And if you want to be that place, start taking action, and go all the way.
Yeah. So start taking action and develop your mindset to letting go of the past.
Letting go, man.
Letting go of let go of everything, man.
Yeah.
Just start a whole new life. Start a whole new life. Throw everything away. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So pretty much let go of everything. That's I guess at this point, you can say like, let go of the things that aren't necessarily working out for you. The things that aren't making you happy. Whether this is the work that you do, or the environment that you find yourself in, or the people you're working with. Whatever the case may be, if you're not comfortable there, if you're not if you're not on purpose, if you're not going after the things that you love and that you have a passion for, then stop doing those things and let go of them, and start the journey of you going after what you actually love and the things that actually make you passionate and that you want to actually work on, because that's where you're going to make your impact. That's where the good stuff is going to happen. And so surround yourself with the right people, put yourself in the right environment, and just do what you have to do in order to ensure that the journey of success doesn't get somehow sabotaged by something along the journey. And so yeah, I mean, do that and let go, and yeah.
Awesome. So one thing I want to say is don't forget to develop your mindset all the time, and please let us know if you have developed your mindset just recently, and if this podcast helped you in any way. We would love to hear the feedback. And don't forget, this is a jewelry company. This is all the things that happen in the company. This is how we come up with these questions, because we actually experienced it and we learned something from it, and we want to put out there as a form of a podcast for you guys to see what is that we go through here. And this is, like I said, this is a jewelry company, and we have a website, we have designs, we're a designer, we're a company, we make our own designs, and you guys can visit our website, see what you think. Luis is working on the website, developing it, and maybe you guys can give some feedback, and that would be amazing too. So and I'm so grateful. Thank you for you guys being here and listening all the way through. And please don't forget to do likes and comments.
Yeah, so thank you very much once again for tuning in and being part of another episode with us. And I hope you guys were able to learn a lot from this one. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So there'll be links down below. There'll be a link to our brand new book. You can go ahead and download that completely for free. And also, the audiobook version is coming soon. I'm about to start recording that very, very soon. And so, you'll be able to listen to the book in case you don't want to go in there and actually read it yourself. So,
which book is this? Because so many books going on now.
We're talking about the one we wrote between the two of us, the 10 stages to skill mastery. So that book is out. I mean, if you want to read it in PDF format, the link is down below. You just click that link and it'll take you to a page. You enter your email and the book will be delivered straight to your email. But yes, I'm gonna start working on the audiobook version, which will be recorded by me, of course, and yeah, that's coming soon. But there's also links to our social media, so you guys can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and of course, links to our personal channels, of course, so you guys can go check us out there. And yeah, I mean, thank you very much. Subscribe, comment down below what you liked and what you didn't like, and what you would like to see here, and maybe not. And yeah, so yeah, that's
beautiful. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.